Hi, my name is Keisha Dito, and I'm doing a video presentation on assistive technology and the code of ethics. According to Dr. Margaret Chan in an article, The World Report on Disability, there is more than 1 billion people in the world that live with some form of disability, of whom nearly 200 million experience considered difficulties in functioning. People with disabilities experience barriers in accessing services, and these services are services that you and I take for granted. The services consist of education, employment, transport, health, and just various of information. The world of technology is leading the way for people that are disabled. And the technology is helping the people to regain their independence back and to live more comfortable lives with their disability. There are several keywords in this research paper that we're going to touch bases on. The first keyword is assistive technology. Assistive technology are technical devices that assist, adapt, and enable rehabilitation people with disabilities. These technology devices assist with daily activities as they live independently. The next keyword is diagnosis. Diagnosis is the identification of the nature of an illness or a sickness. Other problem examined by the symptoms. Then we have disability. Disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movement or their activity. And then lastly, we have ethics. And ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conduct of an activity. The introduction. This research paper is to inform readers how technology can be extremely helpful to people with disabilities and the need for the code of ethics. What is technology? What is assistive technology? According to the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, assistive technology, or AT, is defined as the application of technology to alleviate barriers that interfere with the lives of individuals, maintain or enhance his or her ability to function personally, socially, and or vocationally. There are 3 points of this research paper that I'm going to touch on today. The first point is diagnosis. The second point would be being educated on the assistive technology and understanding the code of ethics behind the assistive technology. And lastly, the security of the assistance of technology. Diagnosis. So, diagnosis, a diagnosed disability are not just physical. It can also be in a light of cognitive and mental. These diagnoses has to be diagnosed by a physician or anyone that's in a medical field that has the credentials to diagnose the people with these disabilities. And you will find these people that are in a medical field. The second point would be the AT, assistive technology, and the code of ethics, being educated on on this area. It is important for people to be educated on the assistive technology that is out there today that can be helpful and useful for them. And for an example, I thought about people with hearing disabilities, hearing impairment. You have the ENT doctor, which is an ear, nose, throat doctor. He is a physician that is able to diagnose people with a hearing impairment. So we have sensory progressive hearing loss. And that's a disability that causes people who can't quite hear well. And so they will need assistive technology such as hearing aids. And so we have the physician in the medical field, and then we have the manufacturing company who provides the hearing aids. So it is very vital that the disabled person will be educated on what type of device that they are getting, and not only that, that they are sure that their physician and the manufacturing company is being truthful of what they are providing for the disabled person. So, having laws, having that code of ethics for the people, for the person with disability, it goes hand in hand, because these are people that are disabled, and they need to function at a level that will help them to live independently. So, we have the code of ethics. The code of ethics plays a huge part. Like I said, going back for the example, there needs to be a set of trust. They need it from the physician, and as far as the manufacturing company, or all the people that plays a part in helping a person with disabilities. It needs to lies truth. There needs to be trust. There needs to be honesty. People need to know what will it takes to help them, and not just because of money, or to get over, because these are the people that is less, that needs help. So the devices equipment are provided to physical aid, but ethics, morals, aid internally, because just people with disability wants to feel that they can trust their physicians, and they feel they need to have that sense of feeling that they can trust the technologists of the assistive technology devices that they are using. So with the outcome, people with disabilities thrives on the idea of that they can function properly, that they can sit there and live day by day knowing that they can use these equipment, and the equipments can, can fit their lifestyle, so they can function and live independently each day. So people who are limited to everyday life need hope, and they need hope and the expectation that they are living life as close to normal as possible. And so assistive technology is available to people out there, and they just need to be educated, and they need to be educated on what's out there, and then they need the truth, and they need the sincerity of what's best fitted for them. So the code of ethic is prevalent for the disabled communities, especially those who are in the workforce. They don't need to, people who have that have this disabilities, they don't need to be reminded of their limitations. So with the assistive technology in hand, it allows them to work, to be able to be employed. It allows them to continue on with everyday function with what they're doing. And so, for the conclusion, physicians in the medical field, technologists, manufacturer companies, they play a role with deciding what type of assistive technology that the people who are disabled need. So, with that, they need to be educated on what is out there for them, and what can sit there and what's out there for them, and what can help them to live a comfortable life, a life of independence day by day. And so there are many companies and businesses that are waiting to integrate people, with disabilities. The employment, the jobs, they are out there. They're out there, waiting for people with disabilities to, come forth. And the people with disabilities in a disabled community, and they are ready to come forth with what they are what they're able to offer, and to the workforce. And so assistive technology, that it makes it possible for them, and we have to we as considered normal people are fully able-bodied people have to take in consideration that the people with disability, they strive to sit there and live normal lives, and to live independent lives and to work independently. And so we should treat them as such, as far as the physicians and the technologists and the manufacturer companies, where all of these devices and equipments come from. We have to sit there and allow the people with disabilities to know that we are trustworthy. Companies and businesses are trustworthy, and they can be trusted, and they can look out for their well-being, and they can live a code. They can expect a code of ethic, for their everyday lives. So, with that conclusion, with assistive technology and a code of ethics, that concludes my video presentation. Thank you.